I would like to invite Dr. D.K.Hari and Dr. Hari, a husband-wife duo of management and IT professionals, are the founders of BharathGyan, a civilizational study initiative to compile and present the knowledge of India, its traditions, its culture, its global ties, in short, its ethos from an Indian perspective. D.K. Hari and Hema Hari are widely sought after speakers on Indian civilization across India and the globe to wide audience ranging from research community to educational institutions to corporates and business leaders, social organizations in various conferences on technology, management, ancient science, history, tradition, culture, religion, medicine. I name them, and they are perhaps the most celebrated couple of India, taking the Indian science and technology to the next level and doing deep research, diving into the science, technology, meditation, health, and architecture, social traditions, and finding out modern value out of that. So I would request the powerful couple duo to share their message. Thank you so much for joining us, D.K. Hariji and Hema Hariji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We would like to thank Professor Subbarao for inviting us to speak on such a momentous occasion, on such a great individual and his larger than life initiatives that he has embarked on as a mission for the world itself, for humanity. And so on this occasion, actually, if you will permit, I would just like to sing a few lines of a song on peace itself. And after the song, I'll explain the context, why it is connected in many ways to what we are talking today. This song was popularized. It is a Carnatic song, so some words you may not understand, but there are a lot of Sanskrit words in it. It was popularized by Padma Vibhushan Srimati D.K. Patama, who incidentally we share the initial with her D.K., and she hails from the same village, and she has sung a lot of songs by Mahakavi Subramani Bharati, for the
national poet,
for national poet, for the freedom movement, and later on this song on peace. It's very beautiful. It goes like this. Shanti nilava vendum, engum shanti nilava vendum, Atma Shakti yonga vendum, உலகிலே சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும். காந்தி மகாத்மா கட்டளை அதுவே, காந்தி மகாத்மா கட்டளை அதுவே, கருணை ஒற்றுமை கதிரொளி பரவி சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும். கொடுமை செய்தியோர் மனமது தீர்ந்த நற்குணமது படைத்திடுவோம், மடமை அச்சம் அறுப்போம், மக்களின் மாசிலா நல்லொழுக்கம் வளர்ப்போம். திடம் தரும் அஹிம்சா யோகி நம் தந்தை, திடம் தரும் அஹிம்சா யோகி நம் தந்தை, ஆத்மானந்தம் பெறவே கடமை மறவோம், அவர் கடன் தீர்ப்போம், கரங்கமில்லறம் வளர்ப்போம், எங்கும் சாந்தி நிலவ வேண்டும், எங்கும் சாந்தி, எங்கும் சாந்தி, எங்கும் சாந்தி. Actually, this song was composed on the occasion when Mahatma Gandhi passed away. And the words of this song actually talks about compassion, unity. It talks about, upliftment of oneself from, all that Rajita ji and Banu Didi spoke about, looking at a higher vision, cleansing one's own inner self. All of this, the song talks about. And when I was thinking of this song and I was looking at what Gurudev is doing, with regards to conflict and with regards to bringing peace, I could see a very clear method with which he's been working. See, one is you have conflicts and you work at resolving conflicts, which he's been doing selflessly for so many years. But the other thing that we are missing in this is also the fact that he's doing everything to prevent conflicts also. And if you pause for a minute and think a little deeper, we will see, when do conflicts arise? Typically, we have conflicts arising when people don't have enough for their needs, right? That is when the outpour comes out in the form of a conflict. The other side of this, it's a coin with two faces. The other side of it is, there are people who are amassing so much, which is leading to such kind of situations. This amassment is giving rise to arrogance, self-importance, which again brings in conflicts from other parties. The third aspect, if you see, conflicts arise when people stick to their ideologies. They confine themselves to a narrow vision of just whatever they think is their ideology, and are unable to relate beyond and go beyond this ideology. So fundamentally, if you see, these are the sources of conflicts. And if you look at what Gurudev has done, he has given three very simple tools. And he calls them sadhana, he calls them seva, he calls them satsang. So this seva, first, if you look at it, it puts people into a mode of one sharing, of giving in whatever form. Some may give, with resources, some may give through efforts, so some may give through compassion. So it's fundamentally to give yourself to something, to a larger cause, to others. And when you do that, you forget your own problems. We have a very beautiful phrase in India, which is called paropakarartham idham shariram, which means this body is meant to serve others. And when you start serving others, you forget your problems, because you see the others' problems, you see the larger cause, and then you start relating to it, you forget. Mind is a monkey. To distract it, you have to put its attraction somewhere else. So the moment you stop thinking, you put it on some others' problems and bigger vision, then it stops thinking about its own problems. So that is seva. That is how seva heals. That is how seva gives an opportunity for people to relate to others. Then comes satsang. So in satsang is where the messages from our ancestors from millennia ago, all of these messages, they help to strengthen us. And when people like Gurudev, who can see that inner meaning in all these different messages and texts, and they bring that essence to us in a simpler form, it helps to elevate people, strengthen them in times of crisis. So even when they are going through tough times, they know how to bear, they know how to tolerate, and they don't rise up in conflicts. It minimizes situations where conflicts can arise. And finally, Lambaji spoke so much about this yoga and yama and control. So sadhana is, it not only helps you control, but also it elevates you to connecting with the cosmos, connecting with the universe, connecting with a larger group of minds. So when you do that, your act of just limiting yourself to looking at a narrow vision, narrow ideologies, that expands, and you start uniting. Actually, you start seeing everything as one, as that Vasudeva Kutumbakam that we are all talking about. So these three simple tools actually are not only for self-development, but they are actually preventing. So if you look at it going forward, generations, the half the world that has already done these three are going to be, they are kind of going to give us a future that can be less conflict-free. So, more conflict-free, with lesser conflicts. So that is something that Gurudev is really doing with these three simple steps. And the song actually, which was on Gandhiji, and the context here is so apt because Gurudev's grandfather used to be with Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, and Gurudev is also walking the steps of ensuring that this world is going to be peaceful. And so it's the song is in a way a kind of a tribute to what Gurudev is doing. The words of the song, if you see very carefully, they'll match all that Gurudev is actually doing on ground. Would like to congratulate Professor Subbarao for this center's first anniversary, and may it flourish with a lot of peace, bringing in a lot of peace around the world. This is actually, in a way, it's like saying, wishing a doctor that may you do well. See, if you say a peace center, please do well, that means there is need, there is a lot of struggle everywhere, and you need peace. So in a way, yes, we want this to do well so that quickly we usher in peace, and later on we celebrate peace through this center. So thank you so much.
And in this word, when she sang this particular song about Shanti, let's look at the word Shanti, what it actually brings about. It's got the concept of Shant in it. Self, Shant is inside. It comes out Shanti. And it is from this Shanta that you get the word Sant in all the Indian languages, from which you get the word in English, saint. So a saint, a sant, has to have Shant inside. If he does not have the Shant, he is no saint. The fundamental feeling from inside. And look at the opposite of saint. The diametric opposite of saint is Satan, is shaitan. For both Satan and shaitan, it's the same root of shant. So two extremes. One is a saint, sant. Other is a shaitan, Satan. Both have the same concept of shant in it, Shanti. And it's a perspective of how you look at it, how you take yourself from there. The root of both Sant, Saitan is from Shanti. And that is the fundamental factor. So it is on World Peace Day. You should understand both have the same roots here. Similarly, you have the same root in the concept of Deva, divine, and devil. Be it a devil or be it a divine, both have the same root in div. So see, the root is coming back to the same both in Shanti and Satan, and in Deva and devil. So you understand the root. So that is yoga. Understand this, and then we can unravel each aspect of it. And this recognition helps us to have the inner Shanti, so we can share it with the world on such days, such platforms, in beautiful ways. And she said 3 words: Seva, Satsang, Sadhana. These 3, along with Shanti, the Sant, is a yoga by itself. Yoga is, after all, what? An alignment, bringing together, yoga, union. So it's yoga, the union. So it's bringing to all this together is itself a union. That brings in peace. That brings in Shanti. So this helps us to understand, recognize, and elevate ourselves to this level. Once again, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Today is a wonderful day, the day for peace. Every day we are dedicating for something or the other, but peace is what is very much needed in this time. And in fact, Gurudev, as Gurudev says, peace is your very nature. When we don't realize peace, when our stresses are covered, stresses cover this peace in us. So to uncover the stress, we need to do spiritual practices, meditation, yoga. All these things will help us to get back to our nature. So an individual peace is what will translate itself into a societal peace. And then when the society is peaceful, of course, and that is how you can spread the peace around the world. And this is what Gurudev has been doing this. And I often, wonder, whenever I have witnessed all this, when in the places where you cannot even imagine, he has brought about peace in the most unimaginable circumstances, where people would think that, it is not possible at all. Gurudev has gone to such places and he has left no stone unturned, I would say, So it is like to bring peace at all levels, to every individual, because he says individual peace is so very essential for universal peace.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity, Dr. Subbarao. And my pranams and good evening to all the esteemed members who are present here. All has been spoken so much in detail about Gurudev and his conflict resolution areas have been briefed by Didi, Bhanu Didi, and Rajita ji is always so meticulous in articulating the real the essence behind this webinar, and her understanding very nicely in 5 points she has briefed. I would like to say my perspective very beautifully. This in September 1981, and the same year Pujya Gurudev has given this gift of Sudarshan Kriya to the whole world. And almost 40 years now, half of the population of the world has learned this Sudarshan Kriya and have been able to come out of their personal stresses. And it is not a small work. I would call Sudarshan Kriya synonymous to peace and synonymous to all the peace initiatives that has happened till date. And like Didi was saying, peace is our nature. So by all these virtues are present in us by our birth. Only the stress that we accumulate, day-to-day stress, if we get ourselves de-stressed, and if we can have some tools to de-stress ourselves, then our true nature of compassion, care and share, loving attitude, how can I be useful to myself, to my family, to my society, that comes automatically. And that is the learning that I have had by learning Sudarshan Kriya myself, and by teaching the Sudarshan Kriya to so many people. The same kind of big changes I have seen and observed in so many people's lives. And I would like to add to this that this individual peace is so important. Then only the external peace takes place. First, we need to be devoid of all conflicts from within. The moment I am free of conflicts, the peace gets exhibited in our nature.